is it possible for someone that's disabled or amputated with an amputated leg or arm to own a retic or giant snakes?
Okay, so I'll tell you. I come from a little bit different school of thought than maybe some people. Because some people think, oh, I'm handicapped. You know, handicapped. I know that it's hard for a guy to say that has 2 arms, 2 legs. But you know what? Everybody has something they're not great at. I had my own kind of handicaps. I mean, I couldn't read. I couldn't write. I didn't do good in school. I was orphaned. I literally was adopted in the first place. My mom died when I was 4. My dad died when I was 14. You know, you can use any excuse you want. And I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. I never claim anybody to be easy. But let me tell you a little thing, reason why I'm a little bit able to talk about a missing limb. So when my father drank himself to death at 14, I actually moved in with a guy. His name was Louis Marbury. And I lost him a couple years, actually 3 years ago, September 5th, because that's my birthday. He had 1 arm. That man would smoke anybody you know that had 2 arms at anything you wanted. And I don't care if it was a slap fight. His hand got bigger and stronger than any other hand you'll ever see in your life. He was able to, you know, he figured out a way to take a hammer and take a nail, and he'd hold it just right, and boom. So you just think about simple things like nailing a nail in a hammer. How do you put a nail in if you only have 1 hand? He would just grab the hammer, grab the nail with his 2 fingers, pop, hit it once, and that started it, bam. He built the most incredible things. He did whatever he wanted. So I think, in my mind, that anybody that has a problem can do almost anything. I mean, I have a friend that has no legs. You know what I mean? Zion Clark. He has no legs at all, and he does things that, shoot, he can outrun me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just think I think that whatever your disadvantage is in life, it can be your strength, but you have to just embrace it and not. The pity party thing doesn't work. Sorry. There's a time for mourning. There's a time for dealing with the loss, but you just have to learn to live with it. Now, it took me a long time, maybe longer than a lot of people, a lot longer than you, I think. Then you losing your leg. I can tell your attitude. You have the guts to ask the question.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Definitely.
And I mean, I took me a long time to not think, oh, poor Jay, you know, no, adopted mom dies when I was 5. But the truth is, all those things made me what I am today. And finding that strength within you is just a mind change of realizing that, hey, if I want to do this bad enough, go turn on YouTube. You can find a story that makes yours look like a day off. I don't care who you are. And so go find that story. Go get motivated. And if you want to keep a snake, you figure out a way to keep a snake. Now, a big giant snake needs 2 people anyway, so it's even more important that you have community and have a friend. And so a big snake, you need a friend anyway, so good excuse to have a friend, right? So at the end of the day, that's my take on the whole deal. I hope I motivate somebody out there, whether it be that you had a rich dad and everything, you could never, you know, look like anything to your rich dad, because that's as big of a problem as missing a leg. Can you imagine your dad being, everything he touches works, and then you have to follow in his footsteps, and everything you do is just a product of your father, and you don't feel like you can't do anything to impress your father? That's just as big a deal. So everybody has a reason, everybody has a problem. So I think missing a limb or a leg or whatever is a nightmare, and I'm not belittling what it is, but it's not the block. The block happens here, and the decision's made in here.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate that.